Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstated, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You on the Christ when I breath on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Well, for these two franchises, the Lions and the Cardinals, it all began back on a Sunday in October of 1930 when the Chicago Cardinals visited Portsmouth, Ohio to play a scoreless game against the hometown Portsmouth Spartans in front of 6,500 fans. 4 years later, the Portsmouth Spartans would move to Detroit. But anyways, 90 seasons later, after some rebranding, a couple relocations, one of the oldest rivalries in the NFL still lives on. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Chandler Jones, one of the best athletes to ever come out of Rochester, New York, in for the sack. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. This is fielded at the 27. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Murray now on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete. Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. This is David Johnson, the former All-Pro. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Stafford now to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
1st down, Lions.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing is Stafford. Throw left side complete. It's James. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Hey, box drop. 43 to Mike.
To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford, and this is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback, But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
50-50.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. He's got the first down and more past midfield. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
8 more yards this time, coming off back-to-back first down pickups. Last year as a rookie, Edmonds got more action than most people anticipated as David Johnson's backup. 80 touches, 60 of them on the ground, 20 through the air. 4th-round pick in 2018 out of Fordham, who had a whopping 5,800 rushing yards during his college career. They think his future's bright in Arizona. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and
2. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. 3rd and 2, and here's Murray. Left side here, caught by Clay. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now it's seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got you, boy. No. Shoot.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Ready. You waiting? 43. Okay, just like that. Just like that.
Third and long. It's Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. On the toss, here's Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's got Fitzgerald. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Johnson on the counter. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the and he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's Murray. He's going to air one out. There's the first NFL grab for Andy Isabella. Touchdown, Cardinals. Andy Isabella, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. There the Cardinals push further out in front. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Meanwhile here, a run on first down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
I'm going from back to you. I'm going from back to you.
Now it's Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back. In pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync on the way.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Chandler Jones picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. On the return is Peterson. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We'll give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Stafford. And he finds Danny Amendola. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. The Lions on 3rd down. Not good, 0 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Sam Martin now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now it's Peterson. He won't go down. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Steps away to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Devon Kennard. He brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw is Murray. Open man, right side is his running back. It's complete downfield. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson, 57 yards. And the Cardinals push further out in front. To Vecchio to add the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how it
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Byron Murphy, the rookie from Washington. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now this time Murray to throw it. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. They run the counter. Johnson. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Giorgio to Vecchio.
Tavecchio puts this one through. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. A lot of people felt Johnson was a little misused during what was a disappointing 2018. 940 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns. Great for most, but not the season Johnson was hoping for. And he said this offseason there are a lot of good running backs in the NFL, but I'm the best. And now he's trying to prove it, hoping to get back to the production that sent him to the Pro Bowl in 2016. That would certainly help his rookie quarter. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Andy Isabella making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay, 52 yards. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, That big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Cardinals take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And Justin Coleman brings him down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another first and 10. Throwing on first down is Murray. Eluding the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. A'Shawn Robinson, too much to handle that time, gets the sack. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Murray now. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Looking for Crabtree, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. He was looking for Crabtree that time. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
After the interception, here's Stanford. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Byron Murphy, the rookie from Washington. He couldn't hook up with Amendola there.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
After the turnover, here's Murray. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. When you're on your own 1-yard line like they were, oftentimes you're thinking just run on any down, get some space. There they elect to throw it. It cost them.
You get the sense that they were banking on the element of surprise, right? Everyone expects you to run it there. Let's take a shot. Let's throw it. Try and create some space, some room. And it went awry, didn't it?
He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline.
Well, struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them. Pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
C.J. Anderson of the game. He gets him here. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. Terrell Suggs in on the tackle. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And thanks to the interception, the Lions offense cashes in with 6. Prater for the extra point, and that will get him one closer. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. The 3rd quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe...
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Murray. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Murray. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. And sensing the momentum, maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
On the return, here's Agnew. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Lions will take over.
At their own 38-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball to cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Right. He's down right. He's down on the right. Down on the right.
To throw again. Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
And the Lions 1st down.
Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's Not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know, all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Second down and goal. Stafford. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. They come out here in the eye. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Check 99. Check 99.
Again, it's Johnson. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
It's been a long day for you.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Before this season started, Johnson said this new offensive system would allow him to really be effective in the passing game. He actually likened it to 2016 when he had almost 900 receiving yards. He said one of his goals is to become the 3rd player in league history to hit 1,000 yards rushing and receiving in the same season. They also noted that he's really come and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Darius Slay with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 39-yard line.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Third down and 5.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. From the gun, Murray. He sets to fire deep. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. From the 50, Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Brandon Williams. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Johnson. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. Oh, what a juke into space. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line.
At their own 37-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for... And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. First down carry here for Johnson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
They're going to try the jet sweep on 3rd and long. And some room to run now. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
Get him! Check, check. Fresno, Fresno, Fresno.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a loss of 5. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 13-yard line.
So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for the Cardinals, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens.